global happenings today. We communicate, we analyze global news. Stay tuned.
Hello guys, welcome back to our channel. It's no longer news that Abba Kyari, the chief of staff of President Muhammad Buhari, is dead and buried today. But what is news is the fact that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, the leader of the IPOB, have every intention of exposing some very strong secret that we are really amazed. Don't forget that before now, Dr. Yemi, the investigative journalist, mentioned this, although we tried finding out information from her that is it Abba Kyari, who she declined, mentioning, but she did give a strong inclination that it may just be Abba Kyari without necessarily mentioning that name. But Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was quite very bold in his own. He mentioned names, and now Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is also bringing more information, all on Aso Rock, and it will really amaze us. Back to back, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu have been correct over time. At the beginning, he will make those claims. He looks crazy most times. He makes some crazy statements, and you begin to wonder, where does he get his own information from? He's the only one saying this. How come he's the only one saying it? But back to back, as time goes on, you find out that he's very correct. Again, he even mentioned, he expatiated on the issue of Abba Kyari. He said, look, Abba Kyari didn't die today. He didn't even die yesterday. He died 2 weeks ago somewhere in Cuba, and his body was cremated, and the ashes that are actually burying today in Nigeria. And he's back again with so much, shocking revelations that will blow our mind. Let's read his post. He made this post in his official page. Let me quickly read out his post, and we'll go into what the implications are. He said the government of Photoshop is gone forever. He's referring to Abba Kyari here. He said as they prepare to bury that, as they have prepared burying the ashes of Abba Kyari in Abuja, let it be known that contrary to government directives, Abba Kyari's body was cremated in Cuba upon being pronounced dead 2 weeks ago when his life support machine was switched off. Impoverished, hungry, angry masses in the north must cut off the escape route of coronavirus Burutai, who has fled Nigeria through land border into Niger Republic. About Mazi Nnamdi Kanu made some strong allegations that are really scary. I'm going to mention them. I will quickly, give an overview of some of the names he mentioned, and I'll read what he wrote and the strong point he gave why he's sure that it is true. He didn't mention his source, but he's very sure of what he's saying. Back to back, I have over time followed Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's statement. 80%, if not 100%. Okay, 100% is mostly for God, but then he has been right. Almost, some persons even look at Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and call him a prophet. Some call him supreme leader, and the IPOB members call him supreme leader, but over time he has been correct. I don't know how he gets it. He never mentioned his source, but he seemed to be correct back to back. Now these are the things, shocking revelations that even to me still shocking, because I'm forced now to look into whatever he says, because he said Abba Kyari was dead 2 weeks ago. There was no inclination to show that Abba Kyari was dead. In fact, the health minister said that he had a WhatsApp chat with Abba Kyari, though he does not know the location of Abba Kyari. But yet, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu insisted that Abba Kyari was dead, even though there was no information to that effect, apart from, of course, Dr. Yemi, the investigative journalist, who also came up but refused to mention it, I guess for fear of her life. But let's go on. Some of the things he mentioned that is very catchy is the fact that he said Femi Adesina is also sick and dying of coronavirus. That's a strong one. He mentioned about the death of Abba Kyari. No one believed him. Now he is making a strong statement now, saying even Femi Adesina is sick. Don't forget that the whole essay, how this whole coronavirus started was the fact that the late Abba Kyari traveled to Germany, then to Egypt, caught the coronavirus and came back. He wasn't self-quarantined. He had interactions with a lot of persons in the villa. Don't forget that Adesina works also in the villa, and some other persons I'm going to mention that he mentioned. So it's possible. And don't forget also the coronavirus is quite an infectious disease. He must have gotten contact with them. But let's continue. He said Adesina, Femi Adesina, that's the media person to the presidency, is coronavirus positive and is sick and dying. Actually, he said that the Yoruba nation should really pray for their son Yemi Osinbajo, that he's actually very sick and dying from coronavirus. infection that he also got from Abakari. Those are strong, statements. Time has a way of always vindicating Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. But let's still continue. He mentioned a lot of names. He said also, very strong, that Burutai, which is the army chief, that all this story he's saying about going to fight Boko Haram, that he will not come back except he defeats Boko Haram, that's all a fluke. That Burutai is also infected with coronavirus, and it's actually, according to him, he said that the impoverished, hungry and angry masses in the north, that they must actually cut off the escape route of the coronavirus infected Burutai, who has fled Nigeria through land border into Niger Republic, while telling confused and gullible Nigerians that he's actually going to fight Boko Haram and won't return until he has defeated them, because he knows he's no longer going to come back. Whoa. Which means, don't forget that Abakari is the chief of staff, so most times when he comes, he gets daily reports from some of these quarters, one of which is Burutai. So this is making a lot of sense. Okay, but eventually time will tell if Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is right or not. But the truth is, if they are infected, and don't forget the hush way they insisted on bringing the 17-man Chinese doctors, and insisted that it was one CCECC company, Chinese-owned based company, that invited them, even though Nigerians cried that they do not want Chinese doctors in the country. But they came in and they practically disappeared into thin air. Could it be that it's actually in Aso Rock that those Chinese doctors were needed to see how they can revive the sick and the dying chief of staffs, as in staffs in the villa? Time will tell. He also went further to say that this whole thing is almost getting out of hand, that eventually everything will come out into full blast. He said, look, so now all they brought back was Abakari's ashes. The Chinese they brought are working to dismantle the bomb-proof doors. Wow. He said the reason why, he said as we speak, he said Abakari's fingerprints, Abakari's body. He said the main office to the presidential door, the main office of the presidential is actually locked and inaccessible because only the biometric details of Abakari can open it, which means some of the staff are outside Abakari's office because it's actually Abakari's biometric that can open that door. He said now all they brought back was Abakari's ashes, and the Chinese are actually working so much tooth and nail to see how they can dismantle the bomb-proof doors. That's strong. Not even Buhari, President Muhammad Buhari biometric could actually open the door, but Abakari's own. Whoa, it speaks volumes. That means by default, Abakari is actually the president. Why should Abakari's biometric be the only person that can even open the doors? Why shouldn't it be Yemi Osinbajo, the vice president? Why is it not even Buhari? So now Abakari is gone, so that means the doors are shut. Now when he was about dying, why didn't they change the biometrics to someone else? Why must it be Abakari? A lot needs to be explained here. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is one person that gives us information back to back, and it would throw it at you and say, let's let the time play us. Look, sickness, especially this one that has no cure, there's nothing you can do about it. If there is no cure, there's no vaccine. And don't forget that Abakari is an old man, and eventually his immune system couldn't carry it. But what if, just what if, Yemi Osinbajo is sick? What if? Because, for a while, yes, once a while we've seen one or two videos of Yemi Osinbajo online. But what if he's sick? What if Adesina was what if Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is correct about Femi Adesina also being sick? I don't know how this is going to play out, but a lot of things are going to happen. A lot of things are already taking shape right now, and time will tell. But Nigerians have taken to the social media to react. Again, they ask the question, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, where do you get your information from? Then I'm sure that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is not going to answer that question because those are his intels, and I don't think any right-thinking person will reveal his intel. Okay, but a lot of things are going on here. So I say, let's go online. Let's take one or two what Nigerians are saying over this. Okay, if we want just one or two, and wrap it up here. So here saying, Kanu, I wish you can be right on Burutai and Femi's matter. Well, time will tell. He has always said it before. Time will tell. This one here is saying, everyone just wants to use Abakari's death as a stepping stone to the limelight. Okay, now we're waiting for the Sh00k side of the story. I come in peace. Wow. This one here is saying, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, I pray this time around that let this also be true. Let the death in Aso Rock begin to count, for we are tired of bad rulership. Okay, but that's how much we can take. Everyone seems to be, 1 or 2 persons are praying that he should be right. But let's time, like he has actually said, it will tell if it's true or not. There's no cure yet there's no vaccine yet for coronavirus. But the question is, could Mazi Nnamdi Kanu again be right? Is it possible that Burutai is coronavirus positive? Is it also possible that Femi Adesina is also coronavirus positive? Is it true that Yemi Osinbajo, the vice president, is also coronavirus positive? Femi Adesina and Burutai, chief of staff, is army staff, is he also army chief also coronavirus positive? Time will tell. Let's go to our comment section. Honestly, I do not know where he gets his intel, but I know time always tell. If they are coronavirus positive and there is no cure, it's just a matter of time. Just like Yemi mentioned it at some point they will announce if anything goes wrong. Let's go to our comment section. Let's interact. What do you make of this information that only him seem to have, that Burutai is coronavirus positive, Yemi Osinbajo is coronavirus positive, and Femi Adesina is coronavirus positive? All of them working in the villa. Let's interact in our comment section. Don't also forget to like, share our video. Stay tuned.